Hi, everyone. My name is Andrea Rominger, and I'm an Executive Regional Vice President with Arbonne, and I am going to be talking about our Getting Started training today. I'm going to be covering two things. One is going to be talking about how we get paid with Arbonne, and then the second thing is going to be talking about how you actually start your business. So your first few days in Arbonne, and then also your first month in Arbonne. So I'm going to go ahead and dive in. Share the screen and talk about first how we get paid in Arbonne. Okay, so Arbonne is actually a hybrid of two things. It's a hybrid of direct selling and social marketing. So I'm going to spend a minute talking about direct selling because that's pretty straightforward. So it's I sell a product, I get paid a commission. So you could sell the product at retail. That would be a 35% commission. It's this whole big piece of the pie right here. But typically speaking, we actually sign people up as preferred clients and have them save 20%, and then we make a 15% commission. Why do we do that? Well, because we're actually after a network of consumers. So how that works is we might introduce people. We have two gateway products when we're talking to people about Arbonne. It might be the 30 Days to Healthy Living program, or it might be the skincare. But we know if we get someone on the 30 Days to Healthy Living program, chances are these people are also taking a shower, using deodorant, brushing their teeth. We know that they're buying these products somewhere else. We want them shopping from our Arbonne store. So we know if we educate them on healthier products and then we give them a discount, they're going to be more loyal shoppers. So that's what we're doing. So we're looking to build a network of loyal consumers, and we want them running out of product and reordering. So it's definitely worth it to give them a discount to make this happen. Okay, so how that works is if someone buys $100 worth of product, a preferred client, they are going to get a 20% discount. So they're going to pay $80. And then we are going to make a 15% commission, so $15 off that $100, off that retail price. So that is the direct selling portion of this. What I'm going to spend the next few minutes talking about is the social marketing side, because that's actually how I've made all my money in Arbonne. This is actually, when you first get started, this side of it, the direct selling, might be the first thing that really, like, this is what we call our right now money. This is how you can really make a big paycheck when you first get started. But later in time, these override commissions, the social marketing side, will be how you really make a big paycheck. So the first side, the direct selling side, just a little side note, we get paid weekly on those commissions. This next side I'm going to talk about, we get paid monthly on these commissions. And they may look small, 4%, 8%, 14%, 17%, and 18%. But make no mistake about it, they are pretty big commissions because they add up. And I'm going to show you how. Okay, so when you first sign up, you are a consultant. Consultants make an override commission of 4%. The problem with consultant level is you have no depth. So you're only making a 4% commission off of your directs. So for instance, if I sign up a preferred client, back to that example, they pay $100 worth of, they order $100 worth of product. They only pay $80, and I make $15 off of that. In addition to that, I'm going to also make a 4% override commission off that 65%. Okay, those are any preferred clients that are direct to me. Also, if I'm a consultant and I sign up another consultant, that consultant, when they order $100 worth of product, they get a 35% discount. So they're only paying $65 off that $100. I will make a 4% override commission off that 65%. Okay? The problem though with consultant level is that's where it ends. It stops right there. So you don't get paid when that consultant signs up preferred clients and when that consultant signs up other consultants. You have no depth at this level. You also don't get paid on your own orders at this level. So you want to get out of this level as quickly as possible and get to district manager, because otherwise you're leaving money on the table. Okay, so you want to get to district manager. How do we do that? Well, all of these numbers that I'm about to tell you, they are in the retail amount. So it is working to your favor. One thing I just want to put out there, what I'm going over, you don't have to fully understand. And I mean, you can watch this recording as many times as you want. You don't have to fully understand this. I just want you to understand the general concept and see the pattern I'm about to show you. You're going to understand it once you start going through these levels. And just know that your sponsor has your back. Your sponsor isn't successful unless your sponsor's team is successful. So they are going to be watching this and making sure that we're leading you the right way. But I just want you to understand, before we get to the rest of the getting started, why it is that we're doing what we're doing. Okay, so back to these numbers. So 2,500 is actually the number that puts you into qualification. So let me back up. To get to district manager, you and your team have to do $6,000 in retail volume in 1 month or 2 months, or if it goes into a 3-month qualification, $7,500. Okay, again, that's to your benefit. Back to that $100 example. Someone buys $100 worth of product. They only pay $80. You're still getting credit off the 100. So again, that works to your advantage. So you want to hit 2,500. And this is actually the building block of our business. So you and your team hit 2,500. And in a little bit, I'm going to show you how we're going to do that. So you hit 2,500. Let's say you hit that your first month. Then you hit 3,500 your second month to complete the qualification. Or you can just do 6,000 your first month. And how that happens is if you have, if you get started and you have a friend start with you, and both of you get to 2,500 and then you do a little bit more, you'll hit your 6,000 in your first month. It seems like a big number, but it happens pretty quickly. Okay, why would you want to get to district manager? Well, now at district manager, your override commission just doubled. It went to 8%. Plus, you're now getting paid off of your own orders, which is kind of nice. You're also eligible for a $200 cash bonus, and average monthly income here is anywhere between $200 and $1,000 a month. Now that's in addition to what your direct selling commissions are. Okay, so now we want to get to area manager. Well, why do we want to do that? Well, this is when it becomes a willable business. Your income goes up significantly. I got to area manager my 3rd month in the business. And I want to show you how you're able to do that. So to qualify for area manager, you and your team do $10,000 in retail volume. Okay, how do you do that? When you and your team hit $10,000, you enter into qualification. Okay, I was freaking out when I was told I had to do 2,500 my first month. I was like, wait, what? Like, I've never sold anything in my whole life. But how that worked was I got into activity, and we'll show you how to do that coming up. But so to get to area manager, I thought $10,000. Well, how am I going to do that? Well, watch this. If I am doing 2,500 and I find 3 other people and help them get to 2,500, there's my 10,000. So that's how it works. So that's what I'm saying, is that we're building in $2,500 bricks. Okay, so if you did 10,000 your first month, you do 14,000 your second month, and that's how you finish. So I did 12,000 and 12,000, and I just want to show you how that worked out for me. So when I first started, my first month I did 2,500. I did that by myself, but I was in so much activity, I was building a team. So by month 2, I had 3 people join my team. I knew that I was going to hit that 3,500 to complete the 6,000. Well, my sponsor called me up and said, Andrea, she said, if you go skip the 6,000 and go straight to 10,000, not only would you have finished district manager, you would go first step area. And I was like, well, what happens if I don't? And she said, nothing. She's like, but think of all the momentum you would have created. You'll get paid on everything and you would have created all this momentum. Well, that's exactly what happened. Was I, again, created so much momentum in that first month trying to get to my 2,500 that by month 2, I had 3 new business partners join me. And so I helped them get to 2,500, plus I was working on my own personal 2,500, and we actually got to 12,000. It was pretty amazing. So that was my second month in the business. So it's completely possible to do. So why do you want to get here? Now your income goes up to 14% maximum override commission. You're eligible for a $400 cash bonus. And average income here is anywhere between $1,500 and $4,000 a month. So quite a jump in income. Okay, so the next step you want to get to is regional vice president. Why? Well, your income goes up significantly, plus you get Arbonne's white Mercedes. And I'm going to explain how that works in a second. So when you and your team hit 40,000, you are in the running for your Mercedes Benz with Arbonne, the regional vice president level. Okay, so how does that work? Well, it can work several ways. How it worked for me was I already had one area manager doing 10,000. And then I had 2 people going for area manager. So there's another 20. So 20 plus the 10 is 30. And then I had several people going for district. So that rounded it out. So I think we hit like 46.5 that first month going into region quals. So, so completely doable if you have a team. And I want to talk about this for a second. I always use this example with my daughter because when my daughter was 8 years old, she'd completely understood how this business worked. And I explained it to her like this. I said, okay, she was a little brownie. She was 8 years old and she was selling Girl Scout cookies. And she came home and she was all excited about selling these Girl Scout cookies. And she's like, I'm going to sell them to everyone in the neighborhood. And my husband and I were like, well, hold on. Like, let's make your list. Like, let's, make sure we're talking to the people that we know, like that sort of thing. And so she and my husband sat down and made her list. And she came back to me all excited and was like, look, Mama, look at my list. And she was all excited. And I kind of felt like I was like, raining on her parade. I was like, wah, wah. I was like, oh, I'm like, that's awesome, Clara. I was like, but listen, when you're talking to Miss Julia next door, why don't you see if she can take some of these Girl Scout cookies to work? Because I bet you they don't know any brownies and you can sell some cookies to the people at her work. And then the Baxleys who live around the corner, they have 3 boys. They're at the lacrosse fields every night of the week. Why don't you see if you can take some Girl Scout cookies to them and they can sell some cookies for you at the lacrosse fields. I bet you'd sell the stew out of some cookies there. And then Aunt Christina, who lives in Atlanta, she can take some to the dance studio for Lainey and Cece. And same thing with Aunt Meredith. She can take it to the football fields in Savannah for Henry. I'm like, who do you think is going to sell more cookies? Daddy's way or Mama's way? She's like, Mama's way. I'm like, that's right, because that's how Mama does Arbonne. I work smarter, not harder. So that's the same concept with this, is that you can't do this by yourself. You have to do this with a team. And it's about lifting other people up. You want everyone on your team succeeding. It is all about that. So why do you want to get to regional vice president? Well, now your income goes up to 17%. You're eligible for a $600 cash bonus. You're eligible for your $800 Mercedes-Benz bonus. And how that works is that Arbonne has the largest fleet of Mercedes on the road. So we get the car at the fleet price, which is great. There's no need to even negotiate the price because we get it for the rock bottom price. And then we have $800 that get added to your check every month. And you get to like ride around in that car. It's pretty nice. And then, and you can buy it or lease it. So the car is totally in your name. So the average monthly income for a regional vice president is anywhere from $5,000 to $15,000 a month. Okay, so now we get to national vice president. So when you and your team do $160,000 in a month, you are in the running for national vice president. You are qualified for national vice president. Okay, so then you have to do 224 to complete it. All right, so how do we do that? Do I single out one person and say, work harder, get to region so I can get to nation? Nope. If it's meant to be, it's up to me. And so I just find more people who work in $2,500 bricks. So I'm working with my area managers to find more people to get them to 2,500. I'm working with my regions to find more areas and working with those areas to find more districts. So I'm just working with more people. It's a lot of people doing a little bit. Now look at this. The income only goes up 1%, but look at the difference in volume from 40,000 to 160,000. So look at the difference in the income. The bottom here is $22,000 a month. Okay, you still get a Mercedes, but your Mercedes allowance goes up $200 to $1,000 a month, and you're still eligible for a $600 cash bonus. So that is how the compensation works. Again, you don't have to understand it fully. What I want you to see is by climbing through the levels, you basically get paid more. So you see the commissions get higher off of more because the volumes are higher. So now I want to show you what you're going to do to get to these numbers. Okay, so our website, our team website is successandsimplicitynations.com. You're going to go to team resources, and you are going to just click in like ENVP, so Executive National Vice President is the password. And this is the getting started slides. So we also have a getting started workbook for you here to be working through, but this is kind of an overview of everything you need to get started. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is your why. Okay, I never understood this in the beginning. When my sponsor would always say, well, it was actually my sponsor's sponsor, she would always say, Andrea, what is your why? She was like from the deep South. She would say, Andrea, what's your why? What's your why? And at first I didn't even understand her. I was like, wait, my what? And she's like, your why? And I'm like, oh, my why? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, to get a new sofa? And she's like, no, dream bigger, dream bigger. What's your why? And I'm like, well, we need to redo our kitchen. Is that good enough? And I never really understood because I would go to our monthly meetings and there would be girls there with these huge goals and dreams. One girl would be like, she wanted to adopt children from Russia. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's amazing. And then the next girl would talk about starting an orphanage somewhere. I'm like, oh my gosh, like that's amazing. And then they would get to me and I'd be like, to redo my kitchen. Like I just did not get it. So it wasn't until I went to our GTC, which is our global training conference, which you're going to definitely want to go to every single year. And a national vice president was explaining your why as this. She said, imagine that there are two skyscrapers 100 stories up, and you are on one, and there's $1 million on the other skyscraper. And imagine there is a 2x4 connecting the two buildings together. And someone were to tell you, okay, that $1 million can completely be yours. All you have to do is crawl across that 2x4 and that $1 million is yours. Would you do it? And I know it's easy for us to be like, well, heck yeah, I'd do it. Like for $1 million. But honestly, think of yourself up there and like looking at the traffic and it'd be like ants. You'd be like, yeah, no way, I'm not doing it. But take that $1 million away and put your baby there, or put your dog there, or put your boyfriend there, or your husband there, or whatever you love, put it there. Would you do it? Absolutely. I would do it if I just put my dog there. I'm telling you, I'd book across that 2x4 to go get her. So what's changed? Well, your why has changed. Like suddenly your reason for doing this business has changed. So it's very important for you to be in tune with your why, because this business is easy to do, but it's just as easy not to do. So you want to dig down deep and figure out why it is that you're doing Arbonne. So we want you to jot down 21 reasons why you're doing this business. And that can be found in your new consultant workbook, which is on this page. Okay, so the next thing, I talked about building in $2,500 bricks. So whether you're a consultant or an executive national vice president, we build in $2,500 bricks. How you get to the $2,500 bricks can be broken out any way you want. So it can be in a variety, which is usually how mine's built out. Some people are buying nutrition, some people are buying skincare, some people are buying makeup. It's just kind of a hodgepodge of things. You can do it in 10-day kits. You can do it in 10 RE9 sets. You can do it in 8 nutrition kits. I mean, it doesn't really matter. That's, $2,500 building bricks is what we do in business every month, like a new personal business every month. Okay. So your first goal is getting to district manager. Remember, I talked about how you don't want to leave money on the table. So we want to get to district manager as soon as possible, because that's where we start earning an override commission off of our own volume and off of our team's volume. Otherwise, we're just leaving money on the table. So how do we become a district manager? Well, we lock arms with 2 business partners. So you do your $2,500 brick and they do their $2,500 brick, and that gets you to $7,500. And in month 1, you can be a district manager. And that is a way to do it. I always tell people, if you're going to go get a wax, would you ask them to pull it out one hair at a time? Or would you ask them to pull it out all at once? I think the latter. So same thing with getting to district. Just go ahead and rip it off. Just go ahead and do it. It's just, you'll be grateful that you got there faster, and you're raising the bar for your team and showing what's possible. Okay, or you can raise the bar even higher and do first step area in 1 month. And all you're doing by doing that is just a little bit more. It's not even harder. Like basically you lock arms with just 1 more business partner, and that gets you do 2,500, you have your 2 people doing 2,500, and you teach a 3rd person to do 2,500, and there's your 10,000. And you have not only completed district manager, but you went first step area manager. And I'm gonna show you how you find your business partners. Okay, so building your team. You are gonna start out in your workbook by making your list of 100 people. Now, you're gonna start by scrolling through your phone, your social media, your holiday card list, your wedding list, whatever. But the main thing is, try not to prejudge. This is just your starting point. Not everyone that you put down is going to say yes. In fact, only 30 out of the 100 you reach out to are even going to respond. So just know that going into it. Just know that. I mean, like, those are the odds that you're up against. And we know that this is a numbers game. So that's why we say, go ahead and reach out to 100. Okay, then you're going to handpick your dream team. So this is how you're going to look at this. In a perfect world, if everyone were saying yes, who would you handpick to be on your team? Okay, think about that. You are the board, you are the CEO, and you are picking out your board of directors. Who do you want that to be? So basically, you circle the top 10 people from your 100-person list that you would love to do life with. So if there is someone that you really don't like to hang out with, do not put them down to talk to you about the business. Let's only talk to them about product, because if you don't like hanging out with them, chances are I'm not going to like hanging out with them, and we're going to be doing life with these people. So only be talking to the people that you want to be doing life with. Like I said, anyone that you don't like, they can totally be a preferred client. No reason to not get them on the product, but let's not invite them into the business. Okay. So here is just a sample of a way to reach out. But what's going to happen is you are going to sit down with your sponsor, and you're going to go through the first 10 people and reach out to them. That your sponsor is going to help you with that in composing texts that are authentic to you and reaching out to these first 10 people. All right, so then you're going to schedule your first 2 groups. This can be in person or virtual. And it should happen in the first week. So think of this as a grand opening for your business. This is where you would invite your warm market, your friends and your family, and you're going to share with them what got you so excited. Okay, so here's the big misconception. Everyone's like, I don't want to build a business off my friends and family. You're not. This is just a starting point. But just like you wouldn't plan on doing that if you were opening a fabulous shoe store, you wouldn't plan on building your business solely on your friends and family, right? But you would certainly invite them to the grand opening. No difference here, the same thing. Okay. Then booking your next 4. So we're gonna find 4 friends to host a healthy happy hour. Easy peasy. You're just reaching out and asking people, hey, I'm super excited to be starting my business. Can you grab 3 to 5 friends that we don't know in common and let me do a healthy happy hour? I will spoil you in some Arbonne product. I mean, that is it. So the goals of your healthy happy hour are 1, to find a business partner, most importantly, 2, find more people to host, and 3, find preferred clients. So on the surface, it looks like we're leading with the products, but make no mistake about it, we are always leading with the business. The nutrition and skincare maybe what gets someone interested initially, but our best product is the business. We are able to share this when we tell the whole Arbonne story. Then they choose products, business, neither or both. And then multiple exposures. Okay, this is so important to understand right off the bat. This is never a one and done kind of thing. It takes multiple exposures over a short period of time. So typically it takes someone 2 to 3 exposures to make a decision on the product and at least 3 to 5 exposures to make a decision on the business. For example, if someone attends your launch, exposure number 1, you would send them home with some product to try, exposure number 2. You would then text them a short video or 2, so exposure number 3 and 4, and follow up with them for coffee, exposure number 5. This is what's key. This would all happen over a 2 to 3 day period. If they are out of town, you would do this process virtually and mail the samples, or simply have them take advantage of the 45-day return policy. The key here is it's multiple exposures, like I just covered, but over a short period of time. You don't drag this out over a month. You're looking to get an answer, a yes, a no, a moving on to the next thing. You need to get an answer. Okay. And then the next steps, this is it. So what you're gonna do after you finish this video is you're gonna create your 100-person list. You're gonna go ahead and download the new consultant workbook, print that out, create your 100-person list, it's on there. So go ahead and just start that. Circle your top 10, compose text with your sponsor, and schedule your 2 dates. That's it. And then you are in business.